Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mngoni Mkonto. Today, I want to speak about one sensitive issue that I want to talk about. That one of kingdoms, the one of, I would like to term it Britain and the kingdoms. British and the kingdoms. The British and the kingdoms. When the British came to Africa to conquer people in Africa, somewhere in Nigeria, somebody who was a governor put by a foreign government to govern the affairs of the Nigerian people came up with a system uh, uh, to actually capture black people, which was to come to an agreement with kingdoms of protectorate, British protectorate. If you are a British protectorate, what it means is Britain will protect you and you will protect Britain. Britain protects you and you protect Britain's. Many of these kingdoms that are standing, the stronger ones, many of the kingdoms are British protectorate. These are very sensitive information to discuss. Being British protectorate means the kingdoms, uh, uh, by their agreement with the Queen, they will never go against the will of the Queen. Which kingdoms, or some of the kingdoms which are British protectorate, the Zulu kingdom, it's even worse because it was annexed in 1887 by the British Parliament. The Swazi kingdom, the Basotho kingdom, all of the kingdoms that we think today they are big, it's because they were protected by the British, and people who were opposing the British were actually dealt with. They were killed. King Mampuru of Sikokone was hanged, was killed by white people in Pretoria uh, because of refusing to become a British protectorate. So all the kingdoms who were refusing to become a British protectorate, they would Britain would come and remove the king and put another brother or somebody else who is willing to protect Britain, and Britain protect them. So most of the kingdoms which are today standing basically were annexed. When we talk about annexation, we talk about what Russia did to Ukraine. Russia went to Ukraine and conquered some land there and annexed it. To annex a land, it means you make it part of your country. When they annexed Ukraine, part of Ukraine, to become Russia, that's what British did with a lot of these kingdoms. They were annexed. So even today, all of those things were not were not reversed. Even after 1994, the land, uh, the traditional land, belongs to the Queen. The traditional land, the land which is said to belong to traditional leaders, uh, has been annexed by the Queen in the past, and all of those things have not been reversed. So, why do I speak about these things now? I'm speaking about these things because the proposal of President Zuma is that we get back to kingdoms. Uh, we get back to kingdoms in which kings are going to be governing. So we need to, when we get back to kingdoms, we need to have a serious discussion on a new definition of a kingdom, so that uh, there should not be any uh, people who are going to rise against kingdoms. In the future, there should not be people who rise against the kingdoms, who wants to conquer the kingdoms. So what will help is when we define a kingdom in a correct way, when we allow anybody, when they feel they want to become a king, to become a king. It's when we give the right definition uh, that will allow us uh, to self-govern, basically. Human beings are capable of self-governance. Human beings can govern their own lives without the interference of others, without the interference of government, without the interference of the king, without the interference of the queen. Families can still run their lives in and create a future for their children. So what we need in the next government, even though we're going back to kingdoms, but a new definition of kings uh, should be coined to allow other kingdoms to rise and other kingdoms to fall. Not that kingdoms are uh, what Britain have decided upon us about these kingdoms, then the kingdoms are standing like that according to how Britain have decided uh, on us. After the British have conquered the Zulus after the war at Isandlwana, King Kechwayo went to England to sign the British Protectorate agreement with the Queen. So I'm just raising all of this sensitive information so that people should be aware that a serious discussion about these issues are needed in the future. I thank you for listening.